Good afternoon, William James community. In the last couple of days, have met with trustees, with faculty, with staff, and I wanted to end the week and make a connection to students. At the front of the building, we have a sign that says, "Thank you, first responders and frontline workers." I wanted to start my note to you today to say thank you for the work that you folks are doing. Um, in a very, very compressed period of time, we have moved an 83,000 square foot building entirely virtually and online. And that required a great deal of flexibility on everybody's part. We've been dealing as a country with great fear about what this virus might do. And I appreciate your willingness to take the challenge that said, not only are you not just a student anymore, but you're functioning as a professional on this front line, but you're continuing to engage work in this time of great need, either physically by being still in your field sites, as 75% of you are, or by working remotely. And I am tremendously proud of your work in that regard, and your courage in that regard, and your professionalism in that regard. I'll say again, as I did, if for some reason that doesn't feel right to somebody, please talk about that with your advisor, and we'll fix that. And a couple have, and all were. But for the vast majority, this has been an enormous benefit to our area partners, and I'm very grateful to you for that. I'm hopeful that there'll be a learning lesson from this that you'll take for your practice for the rest of your life. But for certain, you'll be helping people make an adjustment in a terrifying time that would have been a serious compromise for some without the tremendous help of our students. The work that this college does and the work it prepares people to do on the other side will become incredibly important. We'll welcome young people back into a school system that they left under the gun, where they missed, for some, their own graduations, where they missed their colleagues, where they endured weeks and probably months of disconnection, only a very little bit of which is going to be filled by homeschooling. We'll need to discover again how it feels to be together, to connect with each other. We'll need to look with those young people at people they've lost. A lot of those folks will be in a position to have lost a grandparent for certain, or maybe somebody closer to them. But all of them will have lived with the fear of doing that for a very protracted period of time in a way that they've never understood before, because the grown-ups haven't understood that either. None of us have experienced that. So Teachers 21, school psychology, applied behavioral analysts, school psychologists, child psychologists, all of you folks will be of great importance as we take the next step. Businesses and organizations will have to totally reorganize themselves, some really quite from the ground up, all to reconnect to a supply chain, to another business, or to consumers, all to reimagine themselves in a world that had been shrinking and now certainly is now needing to be focused on an international platform. How do people do that? Where do they take that? How do they organize themselves to be perhaps more flexible and more resilient for the next time? And certainly there'll be a great need for behavioral health professionals at all levels and in all ways. We will have lost a big piece of a generation of our country. We have people who are working on the front lines every day with great worry and great anxiety, and with enormous courage, taking care of people. We need to take care of them on the other side. There'll be a great need to do that. And all of us will need to rethink who we are in this new age. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Great Depression, maybe, or some major events, but not in my time. And so rethinking our values, rethinking our future, rethinking our relationships, rethinking what we invest in, they'll need time and attention and thoughtfulness. There may be treatments for depression and anxiety and PTSD and things that are part of our toolkit to deliver, but there'll be tremendous needs to reconnect, tremendous needs to reconnect. Fortunately, it's what we do as a group of behavioral health professionals and leaders. That's what you're learning to do. So let me again say thank you. This has gone very well because people at all levels of this organization have been committed to it going well. We are all benefiting from that. Other folks are benefiting from that. People will benefit in the future from that. I'm tremendously proud to be part of this organization and very grateful to each of you. So in this 83,000 square foot building that I sit mostly alone in every day, I'm greatly looking forward to welcoming you back and hoping that you take the next, whatever it takes, to continue to focus on your learning and your connections with each other. Stay healthy.